Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to Infinite RP and episode 9 of the Lost City of Vedranis. Hope you guys have all been doing well. Let's just go around, see what the cast has been up to. Justin, let's start with you. How's your week been? You're muted.
I am muted. It's been something. It's been okay. It's just life. But everything's all right here. It's just kind of like summer, a little bit chill and a little bit relaxing. Looking forward to big plans or not, and just yeah. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here with y'all.
Glad to have you. Ray, how's your week been?
Oh, it's been good. I've just been doing the dang
Gosh.
thing. Yeah,
Lenny?
gosh.
Oh
Gosh.
boy. Gosh.
No, but it's been good. Just hanging out, having more time for RP, working. The weather hasn't been so hot, so I've been in a better mood just in general. So it's been great. It's been really great. And I'm super stoked to be here.
Nice. Yeah, it's been like cooler here too, like especially today, which is like super nice. I'm not as angry all the time. But anyway, I get angry when it gets hot. When I get hot, I just
regulated
get
body
angry.
temperature means a happy DM.
Yep. Keep that in mind. Derek, speaking of, have you been?
Oh, hold on. I'm parched.
Oh my god.
I have been great. I have been taking a lot of time to go ahead and do a lot of stream maintenance, relearning fun things with OBS. I have a decent computer now that can handle a lot of like the fun, like cool, pizzazzy transitions and all that other crap in OBS. But it's been a lot of relearning things. But I just a lot of acclimating, a lot of getting that in the motion. I've been taking the week off from streaming just so I can concentrate on that and making content. So other than on the burn of just looking at a computer screen and watching my retinas bleed out of my head, I've been great. I've been chilling. I've been, doing the do. I had to go ahead and play with you, and you.
Take the positives with the negatives, I guess.
Your retinas look fine.
Yeah, you look okay
Thanks.
now, so.
Still ran out of my head.
I don't want to flatter you.
Oh man. Isla, how have you been? How's your week been?
I've not been too bad. I've been chilling like a Russian villain.
That's true. I know that.
Yeah.
Bam.
I
Suka
have been.
blingit.
Suka.
All Russian episode.
Suka. Yeah, but it's not been too bad. Just the march of progress moves ever forward. Is all I can really say for the past week. To be honest, just been probably spending way too much time role playing. If I'm gonna tally this up, I've probably slept, lived in the real world, and then RP'd in equal measure. Like divide 24 by 3, it's 8, right? It's 8? Is that how math works?
Yep,
I don't
that's
know math.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
math.
So it's been like 8 hours sleep, 8 hours RP, and 8 hours being a boring fucking adult. It's like my least favorite part. But yeah, it's pretty much been like that for the past week. Yeah. Oh, I don't eat. RP sustains me. Yeah.
Thoroughly sated herd. Ooh. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
Well, we're so glad to have you here. We're glad to have all of you here. All right, well, let's hop right into it with a little bit of a recap. So, last we left off, you guys had left the outskirts of Hallow, having not been able to gain entry, at least for Vodder and Noct, because you have some maladies attached to your faces. And for some reason, these sentinels, these former entities of the city, will not allow you entrance. You have been told that there are sanctuaries throughout the city that you can find, and once purified, you may be able to rest there. You guys ventured to the northeast in search of one of said sanctuaries, spending some time together, enjoying the good things in life, also known as weed. Getting to know each other a little bit, having a little bit of relief, and getting a little insight into a couple of your other party members, as Vodder detected thoughts on Kimura as she was not partaking. I don't know why I said it that way, but anyway, carrying on.
Sounded good.
Thank you. You guys continued to the north and through the Old Croak Market, which you had ventured through some weeks past where the plague is running rampant through this district. You guys came across a market which has many people around it, something that has not been seen in your time in Vedranis. You also noticed Kyrogen going out and checking on some of the citizens, and the citizens seemed to almost rejoice or be happy in seeing the Kyrogen, as one little girl was giving roses out to several of these Kyrogen. Vodder also read into Aedrid's journal that he picked up some weeks past, learning more about him and his past. But all was not perfect, not super well, as soon a tiefling was brought into this market that seemed to have taken on a almost like a staging ground, or a place where they put some of these sick people. And apparently this tiefling was very sick and had somehow transformed into some other creature. The Kyrogen had decided to end this tiefling's life, or at least to attempt to, as to not let any disease or any sickness pass, but not before it got to several of the Kyrogen. You, the party, stepped in and tried, and it helped aid in fighting this creature until its ultimate demise from I believe, a crit from Captain Kimura Thunderthorn herself.
I think it was only her that did all that, by the way. It was ridiculous.
A couple of you were stuck with some minor madness and things that allowed you, just seeing this creature cause some fear and hesitation. Even still, you were able to defeat this creature, and that is where we begin tonight, as you guys take in the aftermath and the chaos that kind of ensues after defeating this one's person. You see it lying limp on the ground next to this tent, and there are Kyrogen kind of bustling about. Citizens also trying to get a closer look to see what was going on, but a lot of Kyrogen are holding them back and trying to keep them away from this creature. What are you guys up to?
I am going knock after being stricken with fears, kind of shake that off and kind of just observe what he is looking at now. This massive flesh that he was looking at, and kind of realize what exactly has transpired. He is going to turn to Kimura. Who are you still flying, or have you?
I would say I'm probably just assessing, and then I'm floating back down. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start walking towards Kimura.
I'll follow.
As will I.
I'm going to Knock is going to say, Kimura, pass me down. The hands. Butt cheeks.
Kimura has no idea what. Okay,
So-
by Kimura I mean me. What?
So say we all.
Kimura. He goes. I tied your hands behind your back. Drop them. The trophy.
Yeah, she unties, and even though she's coming down, she just kind of lets gravity just on top of him.
Knock catches the hands, and then ties them back onto it. You see him. He's like trying to grab another piece of leather hanging down from his furry skirt. He's trying to tie it onto the hands back onto his waist.
As you're doing this, a couple of the Kyrogen are kind of watching you, and the pair of them kind of tilt their head. You can't see their eyes, but you can just see the kind of confusion in their posture, and you hear a voice behind you, and it says, "I recommend not taking trophies of these creatures. and as you turn and maybe look, you see a Kyrogen, and it's the one that you had talked to recently. He's got the syringe that's got like the full liquid. He gave you the name Roderick. This is Roderick.
I took notes.
Thank you. And he's kind of standing there with a pair of Kyrogen at his back.
Knock, as he says that, Knock's gonna kind of like, as he's fiddling around with the leather, he's gonna stop after hearing his voice and hearing what he says. He wants to look over his shoulder and says, "Everyone's got their process, Birdman, and I got mine." And I grab the hand and I say, "Rinkai." And the same thing that summoned that lightning bolt, that summoned that bolt of the lightning staff, all those 5 strands of lightning that travel through the clouds right above where the monster was and retrieve the it's like a giant lightning bolt that just strikes at that flesh of the creature, sending it back up into the clouds.
Wisp looks at it as that happens, and she's like tries to keep her cool, but she's incredibly impressed.
Vodder looks at it and loses his shit. Vodder sees that happen. He's like, "Whoa!"
when
Really
Knock
cool.
has when he says that the hands like they glow blue and then they go back to like their regular decaying look, and he finishes the tie around his waist and stands back up. And now look over towards
That man who was taken into the tent, is he sick? Is this part of the disease that's going through the city, through the market?
This is the final stage of the plague. What you see in front of you, this was the tiefling. And he gestures to the mass of flesh that is now getting hauled away by some of the Kyrogen. They are lifting it onto a horse-drawn wagon and begin carting it off.
And Vodder takes out a small book and a quill, and he's like writing /a notebook, and he's like, "And do you know how it's spread? Is it through the air, physical contact, bodily fluids, magic?"
Contact through those who are infected, from what we can tell.
Okay. So, but like physical contact, you said, right?
Within a few feet, it can be traveled
Okay.
airborne. Someone coughs or breathes on you. From what
Okay.
we know.
All right. And Vodder like goes kind of a little bit closer to where that guy was, and he sits down, and he pulls out of his bag. He pulls a sort of long, narrow leaf, and he starts sitting there, casting a spell over this leaf in this little. Just he's sitting on the ground in the middle of the marketplace doing this.
Okay. As you're doing this, you can see not only are they carting off this flesh creature, they are also carting off some of the dead Kyrogen. Some of them are grotesquely like it, they were cut in half. It's nasty. Like they're just also carting these dead Kyrogen onto the cart as well.
Is there anything left of the tent that they were in?
Yeah, there is obviously the tent. It is torn and shredded. There is blood staining. It's canvas colored, but there's.
Can I go over to it quick and see if there's anything salvageable inside? If there's anything
Loot
left?
the tent?
Yeah.
the tent never saw it coming.
Well, it's a medical tent.
It's a mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Might be
Hey,
bandaged.
no
Might be
shame in the
bandages
game there.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
shame in the
no,
game.
there's-
Hey, do your
Hey,
thing.
do your thing.
Man, do your thing. Hey, we ain't trying to do nothing, man.
Well, to them, I mean, to them, they're carting everything off. So as long as she's keeping a respectful distance, which she is, she's not gonna she'll wait until they have removed themselves from wherever they are. But if there's nobody over there, she'll go over there and see if there's anything salvageable in the tent.
Okay. There are a couple Kyrogen in there, but it seems as if they're like cleaning up the blood and gore that is remaining.
Yeah, I'll just see if there's anything that I could snag real quick that would be useful.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
So you find you do find a few things. You do find an additional 5 bandages.
Okay.
As well as a medical kit,
Oh, okay.
like a healer's kit.
Ah.
So what?
And so what's a healer's kit do?
So a healer's kit. I can't remember if it's in the
Add
player's
those.
handbook or.
Let's see if I can add it to
I
my.
think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a healer's kit. Containing bandages, salves, and splints. It has 10 uses.
Yeah.
As an action, you can spend 1 kit to stabilize a creature that has 0 hit points without needing to make a wisdom medicine check. Sweet.
So as
Okay.
far as
Add one of those.
the Dark Dungeon rules, you can use that for. I think it grants you advantage on certain
Okay.
on actually. Let's see. Yeah, when you contract a disease, it's not always obvious what symptoms you have. To make a diagnosis, roll a wisdom or intelligence check against the rarity of the disease. You must be trained in medicine. A healer's kit will prove useful, granting advantage on your diagnosis. So
Cool.
whatever
Awesome.
like is in there as far as the player's handbook goes, you have that, and then it will grant you some other things to be able to do.
Awesome.
Is Roderick still there?
Yeah, he's behind you guys. So he wasn't actually part of the group that started attacking this thing. He was back in the little market, like the
Yeah.
little square, and he's behind you.
Okay, Kamo's gonna walk up to Roderick and go, Where are they taking the body?
To the pyre. They will burn it.
It's probably for the best. You do not study?
I beg your pardon.
Study. To understand the nature of these things. You do not study the body.
We have plenty of specimens to study. They are much the same. There are not many strains of this disease.
Right. Okay. And she just turns and walks off.
If you will allow me, as you turn to walk away, I would like to extend my gratitude. I did see what happened. You and your compatriots have the gratitude of the Kyrogen. If I may, you may, if you wish. And he kind of looks at you. You all seem tired. If you wish to accompany us to the asylum, we shall grant you respite for a time if you need it.
I look to everyone else to see what their facial expressions are.
I'm making this first.
It's
While
He's
I'm
taking my
ritually casting
damn-
and I'm ritually grimacing.
Just grimace for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10
I'm
minutes.
kind of blank faced. I'm kind of emotionless at the moment. Not quite sure how to feel.
They're taking my goddamn trophy away. You said there's going to the pyre. Knock like, pops up a little bit and says, "You're taking that to be burned?
That is correct.
Is that where it's being burned? Is that where you're telling me we can go, or do I got myself confused?"
The asylum is several days away. The pyre is just on the other side of the market.
Am I at 10 minutes yet?
You're getting pretty close, I'd say.
At this time, I'm wrapping up. Vadar's been ritually casting detect disease, detect poison and disease, but really he's focusing on the disease part of things.
Okay. Do you
and
want
he's looking to identify the disease.
Okay.
And basically, I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything we don't know about this thing, just to magically discern how it spread, how we can avoid catching it, how to warn Knock about not playing with the remains of someone who had it. Stuff
Okay.
like that.
Do you want to put the what it says of the spell in the chat so I could?
I would love to.
Thank you.
Here, I can actually just do this. And it should come up in roll 20.
Okay. For the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You identify the kind of poison. Okay. So interesting. Okay. So you, as you are concentrating on people milling about you, you see a couple people wearing, cloths around their face and whatnot, giving you a distance, but within close enough distance to grant you the ability of the spell. You get the name of the disease and what type of disease it is. It is warp touch disease.
Okay.
Um,
Do I see any active cases of it besides what just left the tent? Like, do I see it floating on the air? Do I notice if somebody else has it?
there are a few tents off, some 30 feet away from you, where some Kyrogen are tending to some citizens that it is there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, great. And what the Kyrogen said, like, kind of holds up that it's kind of within close contact with somebody who has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I sort of stand up and I walk over to Knock, and I say, "You should be careful. Yeah, the Kyrogen was right. If you get too close to," and he points after the cart, like he doesn't know how to refer to it, but he's like, if you get too close to the thing, that thing, you could get sick too. It might not be a good trophy. Maybe find a different trophy.
Knock kind of makes like a stink face and says, "Yeah, I know. I just wanted something to go ahead and remember the battle. I once fought a giant gaggle of zombies, and I was told the same thing. Not to take the undead's fingers or their brains or anything else because it was just going to rot off of my side of my waist anyway."
Yeah.
Smart.
But you didn't you? You did take it.
I took a whole zombie.
And then what happened?
And I wrapped it around my waist. He didn't die for some weeks. It was quite the
good.
process. It was great, the trophy. Write the story.
I forget what we were talking about. Yeah.
But we're not going with these fellas. I don't trust these bird people as much as I can throw them. I'm kind of like leaning into Vada. I'm just like, I don't trust these bird people as much as the
one
next
that
guy.
ran off with the kid, if they remember us, it could be a big problem. But I am really tired.
Very quickly, during the battle, DM, do you recall if Nock got a hit on the creature?
I don't think so, because he was he had a short-term madness pretty much the entire time, and he wasn't able to move.
Okay. Gamora
terrible.
kind of pats Nock. Obviously not on his shoulder, because that's too high. What does it have to be like?
Whoa,
yeah.
where you patting that? Right on the side. Say, hey, welcome to the locker room. Good game, man, Knock.
Just kind of, as she's walking past, Nock kind of slaps him. I was gonna say on the lower back, I guess where the kidney would be. Just slaps him on his ass. No,
Around the kidney.
and just
We're all friends here.
just walks past and goes, "Well, you can take a trophy when you earn it. Trophies go to the victor's, Knock."
Man, I pretty much went ahead and got that whole entire ordeal. Was pretty much done in one because I went ahead and gave you what's mine.
Okay, then next time don't. I'll still do my job.
Congratulations, Gamora. You got it. You won. Maybe you should go get the trophy.
You know
I'll
what
tie
I
it to your
will?
waist.
Last time that I have someone carve out the statue for me. She smirks.
Don't
Knock,
touch the
but Knock
thing.
bites his lip in anger.
Captain, we need to talk. I'm not sure. Do you think it's safe to go with the Kyrogens?
If you're asking me, I don't think we should. They're strange. I don't trust them.
Maybe one of them knows if there's one of those archways here somewhere.
My only concern would be they are so strange, in fact, that I don't know if I want to divulge that information. If they're aware of it.
Oh. Keep a secret.
Essentially.
Like the bottle of alcohol in your bag.
What of it?
You've been keeping it a secret.
Then why do you know about it?
I'm gonna go see if they know where one of those archways is.
I grab his arm.
I heard you thinking about it.
You heard me thinking. I don't think that loud.
I was under the influence of stuff,
Huh.
and I can do that. I could hear what people are thinking, and I was wondering why you didn't want to smoke any of that with us, and so I just listened. But you weren't talking about that, so then I stopped.
Do you know why I didn't partake?
Because
Rhetorical question. Shut it.
oh,
The next time you want to know my thoughts on something, fucking ask me. This is for me. There's a reason thoughts are not done out loud. Now get out of my way. She walks off.
He apologizes to the ground.
sorry.
Nock is just shaking his head, being like,
She is an intolerable little spitfire, isn't she, Vodder?
I guess. I mean, she scares me a little bit.
Even fire, no matter how big, can all be blown out.
and just kind of just stares at the backside of Kimura's head just as she's walking away.
She scares me too, Vada. Don't worry.
Oh, Calder! I forgot
Sorry,
you were there.
I'm still here. I haven't. Yeah, that's not the first time that's happened.
You just sidle on up.
No, I've been here the entire time.
Okay. Just didn't know. Yes, she's frightening, right? I mean, she's very mad.
Right.
Calder, what do you think we should do? Do you think we should go with the Chirurgeons and risk being exposed and recognized?
I don't know if you're aware, but I'm not great at making decisions. Usually the decisions I make are usually the wrong ones. So, I mean, it depends. If you want to go there, I'll say to not go there, because that's probably the right decision. But if you do want to go there, I'll say to not go there, because then it would be the right decision.
Ugh.
Sorry.
You think too
Butter-
hard.
Oh, what? Sorry, I'm usually startled today.
No, she just kind of like chimes in. She's like, "You think too hard."
Yeah. This was right. You know, you just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta, like, do something.
Right, but I did that, and then I found people that I wasn't supposed to find, and almost gave up our position when you were sleeping, and I was told not to do that anymore. So I don't know if I should be making any decisions.
So next time, make the right decision. Real simple there, fella. Real
Right,
simple.
but usually what I think is the right decision usually becomes the wrong decision.
Well, stop thinking like yourself. Use the other brain.
Think like Nock.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it whenever it seems feels
Whispers
right.
behind him, shaking her head.
Just do
He
it.
just-
do
he
it.
starts
If you do it,
making
you'll feel
lists.
better.
Right.
You'll feel better about your decisions. Just make sure you go in headstrong and face it. Screw whatever the hell Kimura says. She doesn't know right from wrong. None of us do.
I'm so confused.
Listen, we got to maybe before these chirurgeons all leave, we could go around and see if anybody who isn't a chirurgeon has seen one of those archways. And that way, if we can rest there, it at least seems like a safer choice, right?
I would be inclined to agree.
Let's work the crowd.
Work the crowd. No, not knock. You work the crowd. That's right. We did it. We beat that monster.
And Naka just gonna look around to see how many people are just looking at him while he's saying that. Is there a number of people that are around this area? Has everybody kind of dispersed because of the monster? So they're just shouting out loud.
Everybody, you're like yelling out loud, and Roderick is now sitting behind and just like has his arms like folded, like waiting for you guys to make a decision.
God.
I agree. Let's not go ahead and wait here. I don't want to go there either. We should go ahead and ask these people. See if we can find another place to make rest.
Brother Roderick, do you mind if we finish our shopping first before we decide whether to join you?
If you must, we leave in 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Runs off. He has like a canvas tote bag for like a farmer's market.
Okay.
Got it from public radio. It's just running around. I'm sorry, I'm being a dork. I'm looking just for like friendly faces, people to see if we can just sort of like, we can do this however you want, but
Okay. Go ahead and I'm thinking maybe like a some sort of charisma check.
okay. I am going to guide myself. Use guidance on myself here.
Okay.
To allow me to make a charisma check because my charisma is pretty dumpy. And then I roll a d4 on top of this. Oh, gosh, so it doesn't really matter. It's a maximum of 8.
A lot of the people are very kind of startled about what happened. And then this bugbear is like trying to be super friendly. They're just kind of like a little off put. You do see the little girl though that you gave the what was it that you gave her?
I gave her a book.
A book
for reading.
She is sitting on like what would be like a front porch. There's not like really a porch of these homes because they're just like right butt up against the street. But she's the only one. She's kind of sitting there, kicking her legs, and she is actually looking through the book that you gave her.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna like just sort of like come up in a sort of friendly, non-enormous bugbear way, and just sort of come up and I go,
How are you liking the book?
There's not many pictures in it, is there?
No, it's about consubstantiation in ritual effects of ancient religions.
Oh.
I can see if I've got something else.
and I'm gonna look through. I'm looking for most of the books that I have in my bag are Adrian's books.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any storybooks in there? Did we already talk about this last week? Did we discuss this last time?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll it. Just go ahead. Call here's I'll do. Call high or low.
Oh, okay. Given that first roll, I'll say low.
56, so that's high. So I just split it 50-50. So you're looking through religion through the ages, religion of history, like just like stupid, like all religious and like
it's all like textbooks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I should try and find a picture book for the next time we come through here. Maybe
It's okay. There's
I can
big
find
words I
one.
don't know. There's funny words in there I don't understand them, but they're kind of funny.
Yeah, they are.
There are pictures at the front of each chapter on this one, and she kind of shows you like a like it's like a chapter heading. It's just like a little sketch. Like it's like
Yeah.
some mathematical equation or like something like
Right,
a
exactly.
algebraical equation or something.
He's like, oh yeah, that is a good one. Hey, have you ever seen?
And he's going to take like an empty space in the book and using that same quill, he's going to sort of draw that archway that they heard described to them.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll add a picture.
And he draws that archway with the symbol in the cap and the keystone.
Have you ever seen like a doorway that looks like this?
She kind of looks at it. I think I recognize something like that. It's been some time. We lived kind of close to something like that. We had to move though because everybody was getting sick. Mom and Dad told me not to go there. I wanted to see what it was. There's big statues there. It's really cool.
Oh, I love big statues.
Yeah, but I couldn't go there. They said it was dangerous.
Which way was it from here?
She kind of looks around.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Was it? Did it take a long time to get here from there?
Yeah, it was really boring. We had to go past a big building where all the doctors are.
Oh.
And it was a few days past that.
Wow. Okay.
It took a long time. It was really boring.
All right. I'm sorry. What's your name? I didn't ask.
God damn it.
Bart?
It's
Is
Bart.
it Bart?
No, it's Marge.
Oh, no, Lisa.
No, Lisa.
Oh,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Did I say what-
Bartina?
what-
Aha!
Name generator, go.
I think she is half elf, right? Yeah, she is half elf.
Yeah.
Why do you sound like a Pokemon trainer there, Dot? Voice changer.
Little
no!
girl, I choose you.
I can't say that. That's no.
Her name is Margaret.
No, it's not Margaret. Nora.
That's a stupid name.
She starts crying.
No. He doesn't. He just no. Well,
man.
I'm Vader. And the next time I come through, I'll see if I can find a funnier book for you.
Okay.
Bye.
He turns around.
Bye.
We're back up to the group.
See, can I make a spot check, or it's a spot, but can I look around to see if I can see if there's any elders around the area, market or on the street or anything of the sort?
Yeah.
Maybe too slow to be able to escape the carnage. Ah, shit.
It's too slow to escape the carnage. Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find like an older gnomish gentleman, kind of off to the side. He's not quite like in the market proper, but he's kind of back, kind of out of the way of the tents. He's like at a market stall that he appears to own. Just not much there, like some like pots and pans, like utensils and just kind of basic stuff like that. But he's sitting there up on a stool that kind of gets him to the height that everybody else is. He's got like long, kind of snow white mutton chops that come into a beard, and it's kind of scraggly, and he's got a receding hairline and whatnot. Got a big bulbous wrinkly nose.
Nock is going to, as he's surveying the area, and he makes eye contact with this gnome creature. He kind of, you see him, he kind of reels back, and he's like, and he turns to Wisp and says,
Hey, come with me.
and starts walking, and like kind of like grabs her by the shoulder, and like it's kind of like nudging Wisp to walk alongside him.
Sure. And she'll walk with him.
So as we're approaching this, Nox going to whisper to Wisp.
I don't do too well with people who are tinier than I am. As I compassed the last gnome that I met, he looked right up at me. Now, borderline shit his pants. I have a bad reputation when it comes to people that are smaller than me, so I need you to approach this man. But I think if we're going to go anywhere, someone who's been here longer than just a child or whoever the hell we've been speaking to might go ahead and give us what we need.
She will look up at him and then look like down to the gnome man and then look back up to him and then just kind of like to the ground. Take a deep breath and she'll approach the gentleman.
Okay. So yeah, you approach and he looks up.
Oh, hello there. Is there something I can do for you?
Nox stops 5 steps behind though and like does like a complete turnaround to not look at any of them.
She like gives an apprehensive like look back to see if he's like looking to help her, and he sees him like turned around. She kind of like, hello.
Hello?
We are in search of an archway out of town. We have been told these were old sanctuaries. We're looking to find one. Do you by chance know of where we might be able to find one?
Oh, let's see. I have been around for a long time.
Derek, stop.
Derek!
No, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Let me feel the pain of this. Let me feel the pain of this. I need it.
I've heard many sanctuaries around Vedranis, especially in the old market. But I have heard of one very, very dangerous, riddled with death and despair. It's probably, let's see, some days to the northeast. Maybe a week, give or take, I don't know. I think there's an archway, I don't know, it's been a while since I've never actually been there, but I've heard stories. Oh, rumors.
Oh, what type of rumors have you heard?
Not good ones. Lots of people die when they go there. Death, despair, you know. Everything else that's like, everything else that you find in the market except ramped up to 100.
Oh, okay.
I heard there's a giant that lives there bigger than your friend.
You said a giant.
Oh, that's what the story is. I don't know if it's true or not. Just what I've heard. You're a very big man.
I've been told. I've been told. You just said a giant. Where? You said, did it live here?
Oh, I think it made it home in the ruins, you see. 20 feet tall, I heard this thing was. And a temper to match. 2 heads even, maybe 3. 5 arms, one of them is gone.
Wisp is just kind of like just looking back and forth between the two of them right now, not quite sure like to gauge kind of what Nock is like. Is Nock fully invested in the conversation now? Like, did
Nock is like fully like made, like he was like 180, now he's like 90. It's kind of going back and forth. As this man keeps on talking about all these grandiose things, he's just like,
okay. She kind of like looks back and sees him doing this, and then turns back to the gentleman. Thank you. In your name.
Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah,
It's
thanks,
short
Billy.
for Robert. I
Knock starts
tried to stay a
walking.
little bit young. That's why I called myself Billy.
I appreciate that. And she like gives like a weird kind of like salute wave thing, and then just like turns around and starts walking back towards Nock.
Knock like starts slowing down his pace so that Wisp can go ahead and match up to his pace, and then just looks down at her, and like you see Knock's big old fist as it balls up next to you. It's kind of just like gives you like a good old fist bump. It's a really big fist, but
She just kind of like quickly like one of those 1-inch punch. She just kind of
you break his knuckle. Knock.
yeah.
So yeah, and then
Thank you. Now, conversation isn't necessarily easy. Fortunately, when it comes to some people of that caliber.
and then he just kind of side eyes and
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
A giant, though. A giant.
Do
With
you really
5
think it has
arms.
yeah, 3 heads. Do you really think it has 3 heads?
I'm not gonna lie. I have gone toe to toe with rumors, and some of the rumors definitely have truth to them, and others omit. We'll just happen to hope that we have the truth. 3 heads.
20 feet tall. That's pretty tall. She like kind of like looks up and tries to gauge in the air what 20 feet is like.
proudly Knock goes, "That's double my height."
And what's
And,
double your height?
Said a giant with 3 heads and 5 arms. Wait, 4 arms because it lost one of them, but with 5 arms, living somewhere out in this godforsaken place.
There's
Oh,
a
that's
sanctuary somewhere about a week northeast.
I talked to my friend Nora, and she said that it's past the where the Kyurgens live. Past the what was the name of it?
The asylum.
The asylum. About 2 days. So
Okay.
maybe we should go with them.
We probably should. It would
At
be
least-
best.
At least accompany them, escort them there.
Well, if anything, yeah.
Okay. Where's Kimura?
Look around.
She's really actually not that far. She's just floating around. Not literally floating, 'cause she can. She's not literally floating. She's just literally just listening in on anything she can listen in on. Most of the time, if she's silent, she's just observing surroundings. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Someone else should talk to her.
I will go over to Kimura. I'll just start immediately walking over to her. And I'll kind of like just tap her on the shoulder. Apparently there is a sanctuary a day or so northeast of where the Kyurgen live in the asylum. It would be best to travel with them there and then venture forth.
Alright then. If we're going the same direction, I can't see why not.
If anything, we can learn on the way.
Right. Alright then.
And I'll just turn back to like the other two and kind of like wave them over.
And like the sheeple, we shall come.
I approach hiding behind Knock.
I am the biggest sheep.
Mega sheep.
Mega
sheep.
Mega sheep.
I would run off to Roderick and say,
We'll travel with you and maybe even stay. We're ready to leave at any time. So, thank you for the offer.
You're welcome. Come with me, I'll show you to the cart.
Okay.
Is
Did
there
I wave
anything else you
everybody?
need to do before?
I was say, yeah, could we fit everybody in there?
I want to do one last glance. I know we bought last week. We bought some rations, some water. Wisp picked up some medical stuff today. Are there any other gosh, I don't know. Like I'm looking for like anything else for sale that's of interest. You know, like he's looking for books for one thing.
Okay.
He loves some books, but
Give me a perception check.
okay. So as he's asking that question, I just sort of scan over the crowd. 22.
You do see like a small stall with a furbolg kind of sitting there, and you can see like a smattering of books on like a small bookshelf, and he's kind of dusting the books and whatnot. And
Do you mind if I look through your books?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
What are you looking for? Anything in particular?
Anything about religion or children's books with lots of pictures that are funny, or the history of the city, maybe?
Kind of looks through. Nothing on religion but fresh out. Nothing with. Oh, this one has some pictures. Some adventurers brought this one through and sold it to me. It seemed interesting. I can sell it to you if you like.
Yes, please. How much?
20 gold.
Oh, I don't. Could you? Could you do less than that?
How much do you got?
5?
Why not? I sold it for 2. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay.
And I hand over 5 gold.
Okay.
And just to be clear, which book is this?
it is a it's a very weathered brown leather book. It seems very tattered. The binding is almost falling out. The gold lettering is faded. You can't quite read. You can pick out a couple words. You can see something guide to something, and then the by is like completely faded. The pages are like riddled. So you know how like the if you look at the book, like the pages are all cut proportionately roughly and things like that. But it's a pretty sizable book.
Okay. I'm gonna take a quick look at it, but then put it in my bag.
Okay.
Right back to everyone else.
So do you open it and look?
Well, I want to look and see if I can read the title on the inside. You know, just sort of get a look at it. I'm not gonna sit down and read it right now.
So the inside is also very like yellowed and faded. But you can get a couple letters of the by. So the title is completely faded, but you get a couple like where it says by, and then you can kind of see a couple letters. And it starts it's like VO, and then there's like a big space, and then it ends in ARM.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna hustle back to everyone.
I got a guidebook. I don't know where it's a guide to, but I'll figure it out. Are we ready to go?
Born.
Yes.
Yay.
Okay.
I would like to stay kind of like towards the back of the train of travel.
Okay, so
Moving
so yeah,
forward.
you guys want to walk? So it's one wagon that there are several Kyrogen hopping into. So it's like an open-backed wagon. It's being drawn by a horse, and there's 2 Kyrogen at the head, at the front, kind of leading it. So you guys can walk behind it, or you can sit in with the Kyrogen if you like.
Yeah, sitting is going to be an obsolete task for Nock, even though those carriages will be pushed to the sides of the wall. So I'm going to stand in the back, same as Wisp, and sit at axe ready, adorned over the back, big lazy stride.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Kimura's gonna walk alongside.
Okay. And Vadar, are you walking or riding?
I think he'll ride, so he can sort of like look through that book. He's kind of got that new book energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all get that? Okay, maybe just me. All right. Okay. He's got a new book. He can't wait to crack this thing open. His library card is barely back in his pocket.
Okay. So as you so you guys all, hop in and begin your journey, and you kind of begin opening the book, and some of the pages are faded, but are you just opening it at the very beginning, opening the middle, the end, or how are you kind of going about?
Oh, I would do. Vadar would do it methodically. He would start skimming through it. He's not going to do it like a close reading, but he's going to see. Okay, he's trying to figure out, what is this a guide to? Who wrote it? And where everyone else is walking. Sorry.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
See.
And when he finds something, he's looking for something interesting. You give him something interesting.
Okay. So as you kind of begin looking, there are pictures as you're kind of looking. It seems to be a guide to creatures. Seems to be a guide to monsters.
Look, this Vo something is a guide to monsters. Yeah, like a manual for monsters, but it's newer. Neat.
Knock, come here. And I stand up and I accidentally trip and I punch Knock in the face.
Okay, roll an attack with advantage.
Okay. Poor Derek is confused. Derek, the reason I'm doing this is because Bash gave us a bunch of free subs for something bad to happen to your character, and I told him.
I'm about to say, what is this prompted?
So I'm making an unarmed attack.
Yeah.
All right, let me get my attack rolls up. Unarmed strike. Here we go.
Fuck this guy.
So 20. No, wait. Oh, that was damage. Let me roll the hit. Hold on. So 24 to hit. That's a 19 on the die.
Oh, it's not a 20 though.
No, I could have crit. And if we want to use that damage roll, it's 4 points of bludgeoning damage. If he accidentally hits Knock,
I'll take it.
he's swinging his arms around. He's so excited about the book. Just whack.
Because I just imagine like when you trip because you have 10 feet worth of reach of your arms, it's like one of those things where it's just like you just slap him. You're like, wow.
Oh, sorry.
My God, that's so funny.
I was excited about the book.
Knock takes the hand as he's walking and he's listening to like his excitement, and like he like looks away because he's like just another Vadar thing, and as soon as he looks over to the left, the big just hits him in the face. Knock rears. He goes. Looks back to us. Are you on the ground? Are you just like splayed out like this?
Yes, I absolutely fell out of the cart. Yeah, and I'm lying on the ground in front of him.
Knock is going to step over Vadar, like over his waist. He's going to bend down, and he's going to reach over and grab the book. He looks at the book.
I don't give a damn about your stories.
He just fucking just hurls the book like as far as he can. Just full scale.
I immediately start running after to see if I can find where the book
This
lands.
is book crime.
Yeah, like I'm gonna run off in the direction wherever he threw the book to see if I can go find it.
Okay.
As he's throwing it like a football pass.
Yeah, you hear the cart stop as like Vadar like falls out. What's your movement speed?
It is 40 feet. It's 40
Oh my
feet.
God. Okay.
Because I took that mobile feat.
That's right.
So I got extra 10 feet.
Give me
I think I took it.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no, I took Sentinel. It could have been 50. It could have been 50.
Could have been 50.
Okay, dexterity saving throw?
Yeah.
It's a 15.
You see it, you start running, and you get it in your hands, and it just slips out and like with dust, and you see the binding falls out. A few of the pages actually fall out because this
I'm
book is
gonna-
so tattered and torn already.
Yeah, kind of put it back together and like grab it, and then kind of like football baby carry it all the way back, and just kind of give it to Votter.
Thanks.
May we continue?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Kaijin are like staring at you guys like
This is-
deadpan.
This is just kind of how we are. Wait, hold on. Let me check if Kimura's judging us. Yep.
Everything's right with
This
the
is
world.
how we are.
Why are you the way that you are?
Knock is just shaking his head. I want to I'm walking up a little bit faster past Vaughter. I'm gonna whisper into Vaughter's ear and say,
That's the last time you were ever going to touch my face.
It was an accident. What if I'm giving you a hug? Okay.
What about your guys' continued spooning? Come on.
Apparently, that's off the table.
It's off the table.
I can touch your back face or your regular face. Just don't touch mine.
Wait, you can touch either of my faces? Oh, wait.
No.
"Is there a reason why the plague? Oh my God, the plague was eating my face. Oh, it still is. The plague."
Okay. So you guys get back onto the cart, those of you that were on, and continue your journey. Not a few minutes later, as you guys are kind of traveling, all the Kaijin are kind of sitting there, kind of whispering amongst themselves. In total, there's 6 of them. There's 2 at the front and 2 in the and 4 in the cart. Roderick is in the cart, and he lets out like just a sigh as you guys kind of, there's a few minutes after you guys actually get going, where there's, that we're on the move, we're not going to stop. And he actually takes off his hood and begins unbuckling his mask.
I try not to stare.
And
Knock
yeah,
fully
he-
stares.
I stare.
He-
Yeah, Kimura stares.
he takes
Yeah.
it off, and you see an elvish gentleman, square jaw, kind of like 5 o'clock shadow on his face. You can see his ears protruding, completely shaved head, and he lets out a sigh, and you can see he's like pretty pale, as he apparently isn't getting a lot of sunlight because he's wearing this mask. And you can see the crease of where the kind of the belt comes across his face, and it's kind of like put a imprint on his face. And he kind of looks at his mask and reaches into the beak and pulls out like a flower or some sort, and it's kind of wilted and bent. And he kind of tosses it off to the side and just kind of breathes a sigh of relief and kind of catches Nock in Kimura's eyes. You guys are watching him.
That's an interesting vase.
The same could be said of you.
No, not an interesting face. An interesting vase. Beak.
Why else do you think we wear these?
To hold your flowers.
Natural filters. Not perfect, but... And he pulls out a few. Everybody make a perception check.
Ooh, I get to roll.
Beep.
Vaughter, Wisp, and Kimura, he kind of is like pilfering through the beak and pulling things out. He also pulls out like a bag, and he begins pulling fresh like flowers and things. And you notice there's one particular that catches your eye. It is it's just like a singular like stalk almost, but at the end there is this blue bioluminescent flower that glows with this like greenish, slightly green like light. And he kind of stuffs that and kind of mashes it into the beak itself, amongst other things.
Would I know what that flower is?
I believe you were given a description of what this might be.
Is this the lure weed? Is this the weed? Is this the weed we are looking for?
It seems to match that description.
I will turn to Votter and kind of like give him a look of like,
What?
they have the lure weed.
Oh!
It is in the beaks.
So when he put that in there, like, did it seem like it was just lure weed in there, or is it just like a mix of rando flowers that he's just putting in there?
It's like a mixture of
Okay,
different things, but
fair.
that's one of the things that he did put in there.
I would scamper up to him and then stop before I get there and turn around and say, like, look at Wisp. He's like,
I'm not good at talking to people. Can someone else ask him if we can have it?
I
Are we
look over
all-
to Kimura.
Yeah, but then don't.
I will tap Kimura on the shoulder.
How are we such awkward weirdos?
Fine. I'll walk over.
Okay, yeah, he's like on the cart, so you have to like hop into the cart with him.
Okay, I do that. Yeah, I hop on up to the cart. This plant, the blue glowy one.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get it?
From the asylum.
Why did that take you so long to answer?
Because I'm wondering why you ask.
Is it lureweed?
Some have called it that, yes.
Somebody tasked us with finding some. Obviously,
see.
we didn't ask too many questions as to why. Obviously, you get paid to do a job. You do your job. But we were told it's quite far away. But if we were able to acquire some from yourself, you'd be doing us a big favor.
Roll a deception check.
Go at it. This is where I'm not any good at deception. Ooh. Huh? Okay.
He narrows his eyes and gives you a look, but he doesn't really press the issue. Though it kind of gives all of you a sidelong glance as he kind of looks at each one of you in particular.
smile with both faces.
Mm.
Just the front one.
He says, we are very short-handed with this sort of thing. It's not something we'd idly just give any one group, especially outsiders like yourself.
Not even a group that, not even to someone who single-handedly took down this monstrosity.
In which you are being rewarded with traveling to the asylum for respite.
Okay.
I think this is even compensation.
I understand payment. What do you want?
The weed is not for sale. If you wish, you can bring up the issue to Sigismund when we reach the asylum. If he will see you.
The dealer's dealer. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
The supplier. Right. But, I assume you have a supply coming from somewhere. Unless you grow it yourself.
And it's not my place to know these things. I simply know the supply is running short. We cannot idly just give any of this to anyone. Our Kyrogens needed to help the citizens.
All right. And she hops off the edge of the cart.
As you kind of hop off, all four Kyrogen in the back kind of just like deadpan, like follow you and watch you at the same time.
Do I see that, or is it literally daggers in the back of my head?
I would say that I mean, your passive perception is pretty high, right?
Yeah, 15. Yeah, it's not too bad.
I'd say you notice.
I do look back at them and I say, "Is there a problem?"
And they'll kind of just turn back without saying anything.
She's gonna walk over to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Wheat is not for sale.
Well, they have to have some somewhere.
They said low supplies, hence why it's probably not for sale. Though, apparently, at the asylum, Sigismund, who I'm assuming is the person in charge, is the one we could talk to about it. If he will see us.
Pretty sure you have heard that name before, by the way.
Yeah, it does sound familiar, yeah.
I think, was it Vodder that you heard that? I think Vodder heard it mainly. But
I
can't
remember hearing it.
Wasn't
was
that a conversation? Yeah, wasn't the conversation by the statues that we heard about Sigismund? Or excuse me, Vada heard
It
about
was
Sigismund?
it was Aedrid who mentioned
Aedrid.
Sigismund.
Yeah.
Aye. God, this is where I wish I could read and write. But we're all is dumb. I hate playing a character to a T.
So you guys travel, throughout your day. I'm gonna move you guys because you're gonna being guided on the map. So you guys move up here. Is there anything you guys would like to do during this day of travel? You guys can mark off your rations as normal and everything like that.
Good.
Kimura's just doing her general, literally eyes on the horizon sort of thing, and then scanning. She just scans a lot. She's like a elven radar.
Okay. Throughout your time, this wagon, this cart does make a couple stops along the way, checking in on a couple, citizens and little like patches of civilization where people have kind of made homes. But other than that, the Kyrogen really just converse with themselves unless you make it a point to talk to any of them. And at some point, they all do also take off their masks and put new like fresh flowers and herbs and whatnot in them and talk for a little bit and they're all like sweaty and whatnot from wearing these things for so long and things like that. So
Are they all elves?
no, you see a couple humans. One of them looks to be a dwarf, and then one of them's a tiefling.
Do they have any like distinguishing features about themselves? Like, are they all bald? Do they all look different? Do they all just look like normal people when they take their masks off? Or like, how what's the general vibe?
Yeah, so they all look like their own people, their own person. The tiefling is female that you notice. You see, I mean, all of them wear a chain of some sort. They don't all have the syringe. Roderick's the only one here with the syringe at the moment, but all of them have like the crow, like almost skull pendant that they wear. Other than looking, all of them look pale by comparison, and they're all kind of like sweaty and whatnot from like what you'd expect for someone wearing a mask for extended hours a day. They look like their own person, distinguishable in each way.
Okay. The cart itself, is it like a covered cart or is it an open cart?
It's an open cart.
Is there any chests or anything on it?
No, not that you can see. There's just the bags that each Kyrogen carries with themselves.
Okay. Okay. Just walking along.
Okay.
Just kind of keeping an eye out for anything that might look fishy.
Okay. Nothing that really catches your eye. It looks like this this road that you're traveling seems to be pretty well traveled compared to a lot of the other roads that you guys have traveled on in your journey through Vedranis. You see other carts passing by with other Kyrogen on it. Some have citizens on it. In one way, there are a couple covered wagons that pass and whatnot. Like I said, you guys do stop a couple times as the Kyrogen kind of check on these kind of small pockets of civilization
Mm-hmm.
as they kind of make their as you guys make your way to the northeast.
Cool.
So
Just keep following.
I kind of keep up with the wagon. Can I keep up with the wagon on foot, or is it moving too fast?
you'd have to run, kind of like jog up to be like exactly with it, because it does move a little bit quicker because it is horse drawn, but you could catch up to it.
Yeah, I want to catch up the cart and just run alongside, just be like, do you usually get trouble along this road, or is it always clear?
Roderick speaks up and says, "This path is well traveled. We don't usually have too many problems on it.
Not too many.
There are the rare occasion, but
Okay.
usually it is safe."
Kimura, from that point, routinely, because she would have checked beforehand, but I completely forgot to, routinely, once in a while, she'll basically fly up and get a view of what's ahead and then come back down again.
Okay. Perfect.
Just so she's got an idea of kind of what's coming up.
Right. Awesome. You guys do notice Calder is in the cart as well, and he is nose deep in his own book that he's been continuously reading. He's getting pretty close to finishing it, from what you can tell. Anxiously, like, turning pages relatively quickly to get through this thing. Kimura, as you know, as the next day passes and you guys continue on your journey, you guys do stop and stay within some homes through the night. So people do open up to the Kyrogen and let them stay the night in these homes. And so, again, if there's anything you guys wanted to do or talk to any of the citizens, you could. Or otherwise, you guys can just rest per normal and just converse with yourselves.
No, Kimura doesn't really make much conversation. She tends to really only talk unless she's giving an order or she's spoken to. Typically.
Knock wants to see if one of the I was about to hold on. I was about to call them a cauldron. It's not their name. Hold on. Cartilage. Fuck. What is it?
Kyrogen.
Kyrogen. Fuck me. These I wanna. Is there any of the Kyrogen that are alone, like, or doing maybe two conversing or whatnot, as like we are in this place of rest? They'll be more familiar to like the ones that we have seen on a cart ride.
Yeah, I mean, they do take time to themselves. A couple of them write, a couple of them read.
What's the dwarf doing?
The dwarf, he goes regularly through his medical bag, like almost like regiment like status, like where he is making sure he does counts of everything to make sure he's not missing anything and things like that. He'll several times throughout the night take everything out of his doctor's bag and then, carefully put everything back in its place. He also has a whetstone that he uses for his scimitar that they all carry. Things like that.
Would like to approach the dwarf, who I'm guessing is sitting at a table, sitting on the ground, and just kind of counting through everything.
Yeah. He's got like, it's after dinner one night where a family's made you some food, and whatnot. And I guess for the sake of this travel, you guys don't have to actually mark off any rations because you're actually staying at homes where people are providing you food because they're providing the Kyrian food. It's later into the evening. There's a fire going, and a lot of other Kyrian have fallen asleep, and you see him at the table where you get eaten dinner earlier, and he's kind of setting everything on the table and whatnot.
Awesome. All right, so I am Nock is going to go to the table and sit down and make himself comfortable as he sees him shifting around plates and bowls in his inventory, and
You don't really see many mountain folk dwelling inside of cities.
My family came here long ago.
Oh, nomadic, yes? The mines weren't suited for you, huh? More fed of fresh air.
There are mines here in Vedranis. My family took to those instead.
Oh, I see. Many riches to be found in Vedranis, isn't there?
So we were told.
Did you not find anything? Barren?
There are things here and there. Rumors of more. But my family never came across these things.
Well, that's a damn shame. You would think coming all the way from the mountains, or where you hail from, to this city, to find nothing. I hope that my luck isn't the same as your family. See, I come seeking glory, and I have heard of a giant, 3-headed giant, with 4 large arms, laying terror to some ruins over in Vedranis. I do not plan on leaving Vedranis empty-handed, so I'm curious. What are the monsters, pre-tale, or creatures that lie in the night here that you might be able to educate me on? Man of the Mountain.
There's a fair few. It just depends on what type you're looking for. Things like this. I've heard of demons and devils throughout the city. I've heard of dragons. One particular dragon, actually. Deep within a reserve of coin that was used long ago. Apparently this dragon is called Mephistra.
Mephistra?
Mephistra.
Mephistra.
Da.
And Mephistra, where exactly does this Mephistra lie?
Somewhere to the northwest past the docks.
Northwest. Mephistra, the northeast, west.
They call her the Delegate of Fire. Apparently, her horde is greater than 5 dragons combined. But these are rumors. Take them as you will.
Well, I've never really gone ahead and fought a full-scale dragon, as I have only heard that my elders and great chieftains of old used to go ahead and handle those beasts. That's not a one Goliath man job. But good to know. What is your name there, warrior?
I go to my dwarf name generator real quick. I really need to do better.
I have an idea.
Bartov. I'm not using any name.
Mikhail.
No.
no, it's got to be right.
Casimir.
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 Pushkin.
Babushka.
Gorik.
Gorik, you said?
Gorik.
Gorig.
It's a cool name.
Gorig.
Gorik. G-O-R-I-C.
Listen, I am Nock
Great name.
of the Garcaean Mountains, of Clan Dunakalathi. It is a pleasure Thank you for your insight on this dragon that lies northwest. This giant that dwells in the ruins. Have you heard anything about this?
I've had rumors, but I think this is just tall tale to keep people away. I'm sure there is some 2-3-headed giant here in the city somewhere. There's everything you see more in the city now. But I have not heard anything specifically about this giant in the ruins.
All right. Well, I don't want to go ahead and berate you with questions. Even I find that to be annoying. You seem to be very busy. What are you, the inventory specialist?
I just like to make sure I have everything that I need. Make sure nothing's missing.
Ain't nothing wrong with a meticulous mind. Well,
Right.
Gorig, if you ever need anything from myself, let me know. I personally appreciate your wisdom.
And Nock just kind of grabs whatever like bowl of food is in front of him, and just like shoves it down, doesn't gull it, and stands up from the table.
He gives you a nod before going back to organizing his bag.
Sweet deal. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Did any of us hear this conversation? Was it like a private?
It was a dinner conversation with me and Gorek.
You can't sit with us.
Batch.
Batch.
I mean, it's up. It's up to you guys if you guys would be awake at this time. It's not super late, but most people are in kind of a food coma and minding their own business. But if Derek thinks that they would have been loud enough, I'm sure you can.
It was dinner talk, so anybody that's within the rooms would not be able to hear any of this if you guys are dwelling in the house, unless we're staying at like a grand great hall table, which I don't think we are. So.
No,
And Nock's not quiet, so he's like, "Dragon, yes."
Okay, so, I mean, to be honest,
I need that gift immediately.
I wish I could retcon, because if I knew Nock was like going, haha, dragon, yes, you just hear like call out from somewhere else. You just hear Kimura go, no, and that's that would be it. You just hear out like as if it was a voice in the back of your head, just like no. That would be it. That would be it.
Oh my god. We're fighting dragons. Punch a dragon in the eye.
Fighting dungeons.
Punch a
You
dragon
damn
in
right.
his face.
But yeah, that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, I'd like to prepare an action. No, I am gonna do what is effectively Kimura's ritual of checking over her weapons and making sure her equipment is maintained, pretty much.
Okay. Kimura, as you go over your your ritual and whatnot of getting your things all set forth and whatnot, you can just hear that nagging, those nagging voices just seem to start creeping up ever more, slightly louder than they have, as you feel the weight of this shard that's in your possession begins to almost weigh you down. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
I don't like this. Not a fan. I got to sin yet.
Okay. You stop as you are in the middle of your ritual and of your your goings on. Roll me a D100.
I'm so tense right now. I pressed the D100 button and nothing happened.
You rolled a 64.
Did I? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I did. I didn't see it.
all of a sudden, everything goes quiet. The voices stop. And you breathe a breath of fresh air as you take in a breath. And you turn and you see Nock and Gorick talking, but there's no sound coming from their mouth.
I am going to observe further for a second just to make sure that what I am sensory witnessing is not just a strange lapse. Does it just continue on like that?
Mm-hmm. They continue talking for some minutes and you realize you can't hear anything.
Okay, Kamora's gonna say something. She's gonna say, "What? Did she hear herself?"
No. You can kind of hear it like echo in your head, but
Okay.
outward, like you can't hear it.
Can I hear myself think?
Yeah, you can hear yourself think.
Okay. So I can still talk. Okay. I'm gonna go up to Nock. I'm gonna grab his arm.
Would this be coming in a part of the conversation or right at the end? Just so I know.
Probably towards the end.
All right. Where are you grabbing his arm? You just grab him like arm? Like...
Just grabbing something and tugging it. Yeah.
You don't say that. So
You don't get to do that.
Yeah, grab whatever you want. God damn, come on, shit.
all right, but no, it's so he's gonna stop, look at Kimura,
Be like, you know, I got a name. You can just go ahead and use your damn mouth.
You can't hear anything that he's saying to you.
you just see kind of like a smug like look on Nock's face.
What are you doing?
I can't hear. I can't
Knock
fucking
goes.
hear.
You can't hear. You can't hear anything. Nothing.
Starts like clapping really like in her face.
You can't hear.
No.
Nock's gonna stop and look towards Gorick.
You ever hear this? I mean, well, she can't hear it, but have you ever heard of this?
He narrows his eyes. Has she been feeling sick or anything recently? And he kind of starts straightening.
Nock
In
looks to
the-
Kimura.
Cough.
What is
Fever.
What is he saying?
Nock like rubs his belly.
Sick. Sick.
I'm not hungry. What?
Breck, you're muted.
Wait, is Brick muted or am I actually
He's
deaf?
muted?
Am
Or
I
are we just
deaf?
playing along?
Who's muted?
What is
Whoa,
role
whoa.
playing? Or is their mic not working?
Am I muted now?
No,
No, you're good.
Wait,
Okay, that it didn't work for a second. I was unmuted.
That was method.
No, I will take out my my papers and my quill and stuff like that, and I will just start writing hungry ? Do you feel sick ? Like
Okay.
writing around everything that they're asking her, and then just show it to her and give
Okay.
her the quill.
So no more
And-
pantomiming. after
Yeah,
that
and
happens.
Yeah.
Kimura, as everybody's doing this, the voices in your head start to come back.
Shit. Just the voices. I can't hear anybody else. Just voices.
Just the voices that you can't understand. It's the similar language which Nock had been speaking to you after his incident.
I'm gonna try and like she's half freaking out, but she's trying to do this thing where she maintains composure as Kimura normally would, and you could kind of tell there's a little bit of a twinge of like, the fuck is going on here? And she's just trying to process this. And Calder.
Yes.
And I am gonna take the thing that Wisp gave me. I'm gonna hand it over to Calder, and I'm gonna try and repeat back what is being said. I'm gonna try my best to mimic it.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna come out very well, but you know when you like hear another language, and like you can't speak it well, but you kind of like just try and mimic the mouth movements of what you're hearing.
Okay. Give me a. Let's see.
Performance?
I maybe a performance check would probably be the most.
Awesome.
I think that makes
I have
sense.
like a plus 15. No, I don't.
Hail.
I don't. Could you imagine Kimura with
Oh.
performance?
More a secret
was like,
backstory being in
what?
the circus.
What?
Yeah. She
Da-da-da-da.
used to be a trumpeter. Okay, you want performance, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
A terrible job at a circus. You get trumpets. You get Ray.
That's a 6. I think that's a
Okay.
6.
You're writing it down, and Calder's looking over it, and he says to you, I don't know what I don't know what she's writing.
No, I'm trying to say it, and then I've given that to him
Oh,
so that he can write down what he thinks I'm saying,
Okay.
so I can
Okay.
read it back. Yeah.
It would only be Nock and Calder that would understand anything to what she is saying. Yes, it's its deep speech.
Well, in our
Alright.
party, yes, but there's
Yeah.
Kyrosians around too.
Which is why I'm trying to do it like to these peeps and not really. I'm just trying to get it to Calder.
Okay. And as you kind of start saying this, he kind of like, I don't. She's not making any sense. I understand the words, but they don't make any sense. If that makes sense.
What does he say? What does he say?
Not very helpful, caller. Not very helpful.
I mean, can you understand what she's saying?
No,
It's like
I-
she's saying 2 or 3 sentences at once, but replacing the first and the last words. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Can I make an attempt to translate? Because since I speak it, I don't know it though, so it wouldn't make sense. I guess at that point, because I mean the tongue allows me to speak it right now, but I can't understand it.
You can understand it. Because you can now speak, so you can understand it. But
So
with her
performance?
role, I don't think it's hard. What Calder is saying makes sense to you. She is saying like 2 or 3 sentences, but combining them together and replacing words where it's like really hard to decipher.
Gotcha. Make it a sense.
Can any words be picked out from it, or is it just like complete garbage?
No, he's picking out words, but again, to him, it just makes no discernible sense.
Mhm.
It's almost like speaking like Pig Latin in a way, if that makes sense. So like I said, you're putting syllables in places where they shouldn't be, things like that. And
Is
Is
it because like I'm hearing more than one voice at a time, and because it's a language I don't understand, I can't physically tell where the divide between different
you
voices
can't
is?
can't pick out the discernible like voices because there's so many.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I just like I'm literally just gonna pull Calder to the side quickly. Probably actually don't know how loud I'm talking right now, so I'm gonna try and keep a hushed tone. And she's like, Calder, I'm hearing things.
Okay. and he's like, he's talking to you. What? I don't know
I'm
what to do.
hearing things, and I cannot hear. Like, she's getting really impatient at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Father does stuff. What is this? Father!
What? Vada has been dozing off after dinner. He's not involved at all.
Huh? Yes.
They
What-
can't.
What's going?
I can't hear.
Oh. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay. Vada wouldn't know ASL.
Sorry.
What was this? What? I'm trying to lip read. Am I?
Sad.
No, ears.
He's gonna get up and just sort of approach her. He's gonna look in her ears. Like, he's gonna see if she's got earplugs in. Like, that's his first reaction, is to be like, to look for some physical cause.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I wouldn't just fully allow it, given
Mm-hmm.
that I think he's doing something practical towards it. So yeah.
Sort of does a little ear check, and I'm assuming there's nothing physical in there blocking the ear canal or anything.
Nope.
And he comes back around to the front of her. And he's like,
Did. You see magic? Something? What were you doing?
Nothing. Nothing. I think nothing.
So I'm putting this together. I'm guessing Vada would put it together. He's sort of like, I'm thinking about Nock and his tongue problem, and Vada with the face on the back of his head, and he's like, he finds something green, and he points to it, and he's like,
Green rock?
I write down green rock.
Affirmative
Yeah.
action.
right.
Sure.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Okay.
So good.
High in wisdom, low in intelligence. That's me.
Kimura reaches into one of her pouches, and she pulls out something wrapped in a bit of cloth. And she kind of unravels it a little bit and just kind of shakes out the rock.
Okay. And so what you see kind of onto the table, like roll onto the table, Vauder, you see the same piece of stone that Adrid had used to communicate to Nock and Wisp while they were in the dream. It's also almost identical, albeit much smaller to all of you than the stone that was in that chamber where Lord Walden.
But we never made a
Was fine.
firm connection between the Walden's stone and what happened to Nock and Vauder. Like, that wasn't obvious, but I mean, he's trying to like piece this together, and he's just like looking at that, and he's like, and he takes the piece of paper that we've been passing around, the notepad or whatever, he writes "bad magic" and like holds it up.
I can't hear. I'm not a child.
No, he wrote.
Yeah.
Read.
Read. Bad magic.
Read. I can't read. You can.
Huh? You can't read?
I turn to like the others, Calder and Nock and Wisp, wherever they might be, and just sort of says,
these stones right before this, and he's pointing to his head and points to Nox's tongue and says, and this, and he pulls. It doesn't pull Nox's tongue out, but he like points at Nox's tongue.
He sees the joustle and Nock opens his mouth to let the tongue come out. I am going to try speaking some deep speech towards Kimura. I'm going to say, is there any way that we can help?
Okay. As you say this, there's this squealing of wood on stone as you turn behind you, and the Kyrogen have now stood up and are staring right at you.
I bet they are.
And your long tongue. And Roderick,
suck that bitch right back.
And Roderick says, as he's reaching for his sword, he says, "You better explain yourself, right now."
I turned to him with my tongue shoots back out. I would love to.
Okay.
What's he
We're
saying?
actually gonna take a break there because we're super far over where we should be taking our break. So, sorry to cut you guys off. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry, it's the break's a little bit overdue. But we'll be back in like 7 to 10 minutes. Get a drink, get a snack, use the facilities, and we will see you guys shortly. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Yeah.
See you in a minute. And welcome back. So, as you guys have left, as Nock is sitting there with this demon tongue sticking out. I don't know if Derek knows we're live, but
Nope. Let's find out.
all the Kyrogen are now staring at you with hands on the hilt of their sword, and Roderick has just asked for an explanation.
So anyway, yeah. What are they saying?
Shh.
I will. I the entire time, like a stenographer, I am going to stand next to Kimura and write down as fast as I can what they are saying.
I'm gonna put
And
my hands
I
up.
will switch colors. So I'm gonna keep the other 3 colors that I have in my mouth, like my quills. And every time somebody new is talking, I'm gonna switch colors and just like write as fast as I can for her.
Like it's the
I have
freaking-
I've done this for years and years. I am very fast with writing.
like it's a
Alright.
Twitch chat, just like a different color for a different person.
Yes.
Oh,
God.
Yes, but I only
Um,
have 4 colors, so
Okay.
Vodder puts his hands up, and says,
our friend, and he points at Kimura, can't hear. We've been having strange problems, because I'm assuming that warp stone is still like sitting like right on the table.
Mhm.
He's like, we found one of these things in a house, and it seems like it's making changes in us. Have you seen anything like this? She can't hear. His tongue's really long. And I got this. Turns around. Shows him his passenger on the back of his head.
I never thought I'd heard to be referred to as a passenger.
Tip your Uber.
Roderick looks around at the other 5 Kyrogen.
Ray's killing me. I'm sorry.
As for your friend's sudden deafness, I cannot speak to it. I have seen creatures like the ones you recently fought the other day cause such things in people. As far as your passenger and your companion's tongue, these are the last stages in warp touch disease. So now I beg the question, did you lie to us when you said you weren't sick when we came up to you the other day? Because you said you were fine. Yet-
Fine, sick.
You seem to have the very last symptom of this disease, so I can only assume that you have had cough, fever, aggressiveness towards others. And like you could hear like the swords, kind of the sound of the swords like being drawn from their hilt, not fully, but
Kimura's gonna reach down to her holster, her side holster.
Now hold on.
Yeah, Vodder's still trying to make peace too. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
but-
Mexican standoff.
There's no need for us to go ahead and start shedding blood. First off, we don't know if we were sick or what your context of sick is. We happen to have this thing happen to us, and we weren't allowed inside of a certain part of the city. So now, we have to go ahead and journey to find this damn weed so that we can journey throughout Vedranis without worrying about much. But we were denied a way somewhere, and now you're telling us that you have a problem with us because of this ailment? We don't want to hurt you, and you've already seen what we're capable of. Let's try to figure this out.
You see, we're not aggressive. We only when we're threatened, like what happened at the tent with that monster. no cough, no fever. It's just whenever we're around something like this stone.
And he points at the stone on the table.
Um, uh, I don't know what it has to do with warp touch, but I just woke up and I had a face in the back of my head. We're trying to solve it, and we hear that loreweed, like that flower you had, it helps conditions like this.
He looks around at the other Kyrogen. Make a persuasion roll.
Okay, I'm gonna guide
With it-
myself.
Okay, I was gonna say you have advantage.
Sweet. That is a 14 plus 1d4. So let me roll a d4. A 16.
16. So you have not had any contact with anyone who's sick?
No,
Any fever, nausea,
no.
weariness?
Well, weariness. I mean, but that's just because we walk all day.
I second that. We've been able to go ahead and fight multiple different creatures and people, the sleepers, whatever have you. We fought a lot. We even fought that creature that's in the middle of town square that you thought you were trying to help. With no issue. But you say that this warping disease, you know about it. If we had known that this is going to be a bother for you, we've already communicated that. But you have something that we obviously need. And judging from the rest of your lot getting ready to draw their blades, you don't want this to happen no more than we want it to.
Fine. Stay your weapons, and they kind of put their weapons away. Perhaps you might be able to answer some questions. Not that I have any for you at the moment, but questions that remain about this disease.
Yes. If this is affecting the whole city, then we were happy to help. Or I am. But you have to understand, we want to cure this as soon as we can.
I'm not sure if that's possible.
We,
Only Sigismund
well,
would know.
well, I mean, a ghost told us otherwise, but okay.
They all
we
kind of like
believe
tilt their
ghosts.
heads.
We do believe in ghosts.
I see. Well, get some rest then.
Okay.
We arrive at the asylum tomorrow. We'll inform Sigismund of your malady. We'll see what he has to say.
Do any of you use magic as a means of healing? I know a spell that might be able to help Kamora's deafness, but I'm not sure if it works with warp touch.
Roderick obviously kind of raises his head a little bit. I have some magic. I do not know if I have anything that would help this. Sigismund might. There might be a few in the asylum who might be able to help her.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Maybe we could talk to them.
Right.
Right, we'll just sleep over here.
You do that.
Set up and do my evening prayers. But before I do that, I'm just going to turn to those of us with their hearing intact and say, I think we should keep watch.
I wasn't planning on sleeping tonight.
Oh, okay. But still, it's good if we take shifts, and I don't know if they trust us.
I'm gonna write down on the paper, but also say out loud. Gamora, you can sleep the night if you would like. See if that recovers your hearing.
I don't need to sleep.
She says it really loud.
I don't need to sleep! I don't want to go to bed!
I need to do my prayers, but I can keep watch at the same time if any of you want to get started on sleeping early.
From what Wisp is scribing, at this point they're correct. We could probably end them, but at the asylum, they have more numbers. If they want to deal with us, that's the best place to do it.
Well, we don't
So-
have to stay there. Our quarry is 2 days past it.
Yes?
We're just going with them to that location. We never have to go inside.
I don't
It
think
lets
we
me-
I didn't hit. Oh, you scribed that as you said it. I don't think we should go in. At any
I
cost.
I don't think we should go in either. At the end of the day, they're willing to draw their swords here if they see us as threats. Having us inside of their asylum might be a benefit, but at the exact same time, if they continue to see us as monsters, they will treat us as such.
Yes.
They'll be prisoners already inside of a prison.
Yes.
That's what
I
I'm
feel like
saying.
we should insist that we need to go forward and find this resting place or the lure weed.
I agree.
But we should have a plan in case they try to force us to stay there.
Turn into monsters.
Okay. Wait, no.
No.
What
Obviously,
monster?
we get the hell out of there. We
What
put
about-
our agenda forward. They're not gonna go ahead and try to stop all of us from leaving to go where we need to get to. At the end of the day, they'll respect it. The same as they respected us for defeating their last problem.
Hey, DM,
Yes.
how far are we from the asylum? Do we know?
You're about they said 2 days.
Okay.
You've been traveling about a day.
I'm going to turn to the group and I'm going to say,
We have another option. Tomorrow night when we stop, maybe when they wake up, we are gone.
No. It won't give them reason to go ahead and chase us. These people are civilized. We go ahead and let them know peacefully where we are leaving the place. They'll know exactly where we are. If we don't tell them, they see us as liabilities. They will come and find us. More drive.
Okay.
I'm going to look to Wisp and Kimura, though, just to get their
Confirmation
reaction.
eyes.
Confirmations.
I'm inclined to agree. The more honest we are, the less of a reason they have to follow us or bother us.
I've
At least in
studied.
this instance.
I've studied religion for a long time. And honesty is good up to a point until we cross the border of what they think is unacceptable.
If they
Well, they don't.
think
Go ahead.
that we are anything like what was back in the market, I've seen that these people execute without bias. Well, not in our favor at least. So, I think they've probably already made their decision.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm concerned, we could probably outrun them. After all, this warp stuff hasn't affected our legs.
Not yet.
The only thing I worry about, and don't get me wrong, you don't have to threaten me with a good fight. But if these people, as you've seen them, cart by cart, loads of them, they're spread out around here like a bunch of spiderlings on a web. We go deeper into their facilities or wherever they know well, and whatnot. We're putting ourselves in a more dire predicament. Those are really big words for knock, by the way.
I mean, that's what Vodder says. He's like, those are really big words. Good job.
I've read a book once.
Proud of you. Wow. He's right. I think that at this point, going inside the asylum is unwise, and we should avoid it as much as we can. At least for now.
We shall leave them at the asylum gate. They decide to go forward. We decide to go back where we originally had done.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the ark.
Yes.
Okay.
Get some
I end
sleep.
my turn.
I end my turn.
I also end Derek's turn.
All right. So you guys are able to rest those who want to rest. And the night goes uneventful, and you wake up the next morning. The Kyrogen are a little on edge, but as you guys travel throughout the next day, they seem to kind of chill out a little bit. Is there anything you guys would like to do as you continue?
Kimura is looking around more, but
I mean,
she's relying now
I was going to say
solely...
Vodder is acting like... Yeah. Vodder is acting more like Kimura.
Kimura's now, because she's relying on sight, she's checking behind her more often, whereas usually she'd let sound do that job for her. So you see her kind of, she's walking forward, she'll kind of turn around while still walking backwards, and she'll turn back to the front again. So she's like ultra elven radar now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still flying up, you said?
Yeah, once in a while I'll fly up, get a bearing, come back down. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a scout balloon.
Okay. As you progress throughout the day, you do see a larger building that kind of stands out among the kind of the rabble of the market itself, and you're like making a beeline towards that larger building. You think you'll probably get there, some hours, and maybe another 2 or 3 hours. You'll probably reach that destination.
And so this is the asylum, or the turning point of where we would then see the asylum, right?
Right. You're still a few hours away, but yeah. So that's
Alright.
where you're at on the map right now.
Oh, there we are.
I go ahead, Butter.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's really nuts. Vodder would sort of make confirmation eyes at everyone.
Yeah.
And he turns to Roderick. Oh, is Roderick going to do something first?
You guys aren't quite there yet,
Sure.
but he does kind of vibe up. We should be there in a few hours.
Oh, good. We need to go ahead and find this location that we're looking for. Will you still be here when we pass back?
I do not know. What are you looking for? You never stated.
Oh, a resting place. There supposedly is a spot where we can finally recuperate and heal some of our wounds. And if we find some of the lure weed too, that would be good, so we can study it with you.
Right. I do not know where the lore weed is, unfortunately. This place you speak of, there are many places to rest in Vedranis, the asylum being one of them.
Yes, but This one is, it looks like an archway. Have you heard of something like this?
I have, yes. From what I hear, it's very dangerous. We tend to avoid that area when we are doing our rounds.
Well, then all the better. We'll go in your stead and I'll report back what we find.
Are you prepared to make the journey?
As prepared as we can be. Yes, I think that it would be best if we go on ahead and then we'll stop back when we pass the asylum again.
If you must, though, I would implore you to stay, if you could. I'm sure Sigismund would love to speak with you, though you have some sort of strain of this disease or something that resembles it. You could be very beneficial into helping cure this plague.
Can I see how genuine he's being in this moment?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight check.
I can't believe I
Genuine
did
check.
this.
That's a 14.
He seems pretty genuine.
And his good nature of us staying there. I'm going to say,
We may yet take you up on your offer, but I'll need to discuss it with my friends first. And also
I
with
understand.
also with Nog. Just kidding.
I understand, though I will not force you. I would implore you to stay. The journey to that place is long.
How long?
4 days to the northeast, by my estimations.
Will you give me a moment to walk with them and talk with them?
We have some time.
Thank you.
you just sort of break off. I'm just going to go to everybody else and relay that information. Like, I don't have enough rations to get that far, like,
Yeah.
that's bad news. And so it's basically Vader saying,
We might have to stay here.
Nock is just gonna lead Nevada as he's, doing his little carpet drive-by of information.
uh-huh.
We have two options. A, we deal with it, and we make do with what we have. We make the travel, we scavenge, we survive. Or, we go into this asylum, and the possibility of better equipping ourselves. That, or fight off hundreds of Kyrogen. Either way, you have my axe.
He's going to look to the others. Vader's not trying to lead here. He's really trying to get, like, a consensus from the group of what's going on.
If we have to stay, we stay. I'd rather not push.
Transcribe,
we have
transcribe,
for-
transcribe.
I'd rather not push what we have for 4 days. Maybe if it was 1 or 2, but 4 is too much.
My abilities are depleted almost entirely. If we can take a rest here and heal up. What, Captain? And like I pointed at the paper. Gamora, what do you think?
You'll be no good without supplies. At this point, it is die in the asylum, die in the wilderness.
Yes.
I feel like we could survive, but the problem is, urban survival is not as easy as you think. Especially in a place so derelict. There is nothing to feast on unless you take it from a settlement. It's not like there are many wild animals roving around. And even if they are, who knows how they have been affected.
That's true. All right, so we're staying. Yes?
Looks like we're staying.
I hate to say it, but I think we are.
I'm going to return to Roderick.
Just say, okay. You've won us over. We'll stay, but please know that. What was that sound? Did you guys hear that?
Did someone cock a gun? Is that what-
Kamara, no!
Just starts blasting.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Oh my god, I love you guys.
Just for the record, by the way, stream didn't hear that because it was muted on stream, but they can still hear me when I mute on stream. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they didn't
That's
hear
great.
the opening this can, but yeah.
Internet's still being all wonky. Okay. I'm gonna go back to Roderick and say,
All right, we will stay. Thank you.
You are welcome. As I said, it is the least we can do for your help.
Yes.
Okay. You guys travel the next few hours in relative silence. Let's see if I can find some good ambience. Let's do this one. You guys begin making your way down a large thoroughfare. The road that you guys have been on opens up to a wider road. You can see trees that are long since dead or dying lining this thoroughfare. It is there's a large iron rock gate that is open, and there are several Kyrogen kind of milling about, wagons going to and from. You see a large building ahead of you, some 80 feet away down this cobbled path. It appears to be 3-4 stories, different levels in different areas. The architecture is off-putting, as it is clearly some sort of asylum. It is some sort of hospital, though there's an eerie beauty to it. As you guys get there at the end of the day, there's a slight rain that begins to come about as you guys are approaching. The other thing you notice as you make your approach are the hundreds and upon hundreds of crows that make their home roosting on this building. In the trees, you see large masses cawing and flying off into certain directions.
Kimura checks her ammunition pouch.
She started blasting.
Just pulls out a Gatling gun. Yeah.
Ah, God, it's a lot of birds.
It's okay. It's all right. Don't be worried. Nothing bad has ever happened in a place called an asylum that's covered with horrifying birds.
Yes, seek asylum at an asylum. They better have a big enough bed.
it's all he cares about. It's primary concern.
You can also see not only Kyrogen, you see what to be like some sort of like nurse, men and women not wearing Kyrogen outfits, though they do wear some black like cloaks, but they're wearing mainly white clothes. You can see orderlies also walking around as you get to the front door. Roderick kind of speaks up and he says, I will show you to where you may stay. I will also speak to Sigismund and see when he can fit you in. In the meantime, you may rest and find respite while you are here. There are certain parts of the asylum that are off limits, unfortunately. There are some patients who are sick, some who are unstable. I ask that you not bother them. They should hopefully not bother you. If you do come across anyone that is bothering you, simply find an orderly and they shall take care of things.
Okay.
Unfortunately, and you guys, as you guys are kind of getting off and like making your way into the asylum itself, he starts walking. The Kyrogen kind of split off into different areas. Do you guys follow?
I'll follow Roderick, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to get the lay of the land too. I'm also kind of, and I know that they're all identical because they're all wearing masks. So I'm not looking for the guy who kidnapped that little girl. And I'm kind of looking for that little girl, just to see if I spot her in the crowd anywhere.
Okay. You don't see her now. You're just kind of in the foyer of this area. You don't currently see the little half-orc girl that you had seen taken.
Okay. Just keep following Roderick, complimenting the architecture.
Okay.
Are we going? Not questions to.
Are we going right to Sigismund?
Sigismund is very busy. I shall have to speak to him to see when he can fit you in. It might take some time.
And we can rest until then.
You may. There will be food that can be brought to you if you request it, or you can go find it in the cafeteria areas yourself. Unfortunately, as he kind of continues down a hallway, you can see this very wide hallway with people milling about, windows on each side, letting some of the dark clouds, whatever lighter is, kind of shine in. Small sconces on the wall, bringing in some light, and the rain kind of smacking against the windows. We do not have proper bedrooms at this time, no specific rooms, unless you want to be, well, in solitary confinement, which you may stay if you wish to be alone, but you may find yourself in the dormitory areas of some of the other patients. We can put you where they are being looked after but not sick.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
prefer one or the other? And he kind of stops and looks at you.
Well, solitary confinement doesn't sound too solitary to me. So, looks like we'll be bunking in with the other mates.
Very well. Miss, and he calls for an orderly. If you might make a note, well, you're going to put some guests in the East Wing. And she kind of starts writing down. I apologize, I'm not sure if I ever got your names.
Wisp. And that's Kimura.
Knock.
What's going on?
I've been scribing all of this. This is canon until she can hear again.
Captain.
Not kind of just like nudges Vada over in the shoulder, says,
Name.
Name.
Vader, and then he sort of like whispers a little bit. He's like, Vader
Of clan tongue splitters.
The orderly writes down the name.
Just Vader's fine. Vader's okay.
She The orderly looks up and I've got that down. And Roderick says, "Thank you. You may leave. Follow me." And he continues walking, making a right turn.
Follow.
He kind of continues on. He's like, "Unfortunately, we're at mass capacity, though we can, like I said, spare some space for you. We've had to make use of the market itself while we're at a capacity while we're dealing with this pandemic."
I see what you did there.
Great. I'm glad you had enough room for the rest of us as well. Thank you for being so accommodating.
Can I look around at the people that we're bunking with?
Yeah, you're still in the hallway. You haven't quite reached your destination.
Oh, okay.
But as you're walking by, you actually see a human kind of walk past, and he's kind of like Calder, like he wrings his hands together.
Okay.
But he's like, he's like shaking, and like there's an orderly following him, keeping like his hand and arm on this patient, but like muttering to himself. Don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to the voices. And he just kind of keeps walking past. He's
What?
just as
What's he saying?
Wisp just writes down mumbling.
Why would he be saying that?
I just put a question mark.
Oh. Right.
Here we are. And he kind of stops in front of a door. You'll find accommodations being prepared for you. The east and west wings are open to you if you so desire. The cafeteria is down the hall and to the left. All that I ask is the upper stories and the basement are prohibited from venturing towards. Special cases.
Of course.
And
Thank
you, as he kind of gestures down the hallway, you can see what looks to be like an old school, like rope pull, like elevator. And you can see that orderly is taking that person who is mumbling and gets into the elevator and descends down.
Special cases. Okay. I'm very tired. I'm going to turn in early, if that's okay with all of you.
I agree. My bunion's got bunions.
You've got bunions?
These boots are not meant for long treks, at least on cobblestone.
I need to find you a good pair of shoes.
Knock makes his way into the room.
Is this a single room? I might have missed that.
Yeah, so you have now entered into a large room with, beds lining around the walls and whatnot, and on the interior, so orders can walk through, your standard asylum stuff.
Start making my. I'm gonna start, just like an asylum. It's very.
Standard asylum. What you as an architect?
Y'all watched horror movies. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
There are patients in these rooms. There are orderlies making rounds, as well as 4, 5 beds. You can see a couple of the patients are actually getting moved by orderlies to make room for you.
Oof. All right, guilt. Jeez.
No,
Thank you.
There's a woman, a halfling who's kind of looking up. She's like, "I don't understand. Why do I have to leave again? Where are you taking me now?" And they kind of, it will be all right. We're going to get you a different accommodation if you follow me. And they walk out of the room.
Turn to
Yeah, I
Wisp.
guess I guess Wisp just kind of like finds an area where they've moved and she'll just like put her back down and unfurl her little mat. But she's just gonna kind of like, she's exhausted. You know what I mean? She's battered, she's bruised, she's so tired. I think she just kind of like finds a place corner by a wall or something and just like slumps backward and just kind of like sits there.
Yeah.
She's still gonna keep like her pen and paper like on the floor
Just
writing.
automatic at this point.
Yeah. Should anybody start like conversing?
Vodder would find a bed close to Wisp, but then if there's some sort of table or surface, just or a windowsill, just to set up like a tiny little altar next to his bed. But just he's also just ready to crash.
Okay.
Nock is gonna do the same. He's gonna find a bed close to Vodder on the other side of where Vodder would, like Whispers here, Vodder, and then myself. I'm gonna get nice and comfortable, and Nock wants to ask a question to Vodder while he's setting up his altar. As he gets comfortable on his bed.
Putting incense out, putting some candles up.
Vodder, I have a curiosity.
Okay.
I opened up my mouth, said a few words in that nasty gobbledygook that came out of my face.
Abyssal, I think. Yeah.
And the rest of these people freaked out. I'm in an asylum filled with these people. Not that I would. But if I were to shout in that tongue, what would you think would be the reaction?
He looks around and looks at just the environment and he's like,
I don't know. I mean, they could be used to it. You know, but if they think it's a sign of this warp touch, they might want to take you to the basement or something like that. I would avoid it if you can. I would.
Oh, no. I ain't gonna try to go ahead and just set that off in here. No.
Okay.
But that man that walked past us, saying about, was hearing the voices. Don't listen to the voices.
Yeah.
Had the same mumbo jumbo in my head when it came to fighting that giant thing with a bunch of mouths. Voices in my head.
I heard it when we were by the big rock. Whispers. I don't know. Maybe it's not a sickness at all. Maybe it's just something else trying to crawl into our heads. But for right now, we've got to try and keep it together so we can get out of here once we're rested.
And just try to put it together. The sleepers had their network. Their Kyrogens have theirs. If one of us is hearing voices, and we all were hearing voices at some point, this man hearing voices. Maybe we're all connected.
Well, yeah. Of course we are.
And I'm not talking about the irreligious mumbo jumbo.
Oh,
either.
never mind
Not
that. Never mind. Okay, never mind.
All right, you keep your damn books to yourself. Use your damn brain.
Okay, I'll use my brain. I'm just gonna do some prayers.
goes off.
He scoffs. Get your wrist. Get your wrist.
You get your ass.
Rolls over. Goes to sleep with that like last thought on his mind of that being that connected. Everyone's the people are connected type of deal. Is the last thing on his brain before he knocks out. Knocks out.
Mora finds a wall to lean up against. Sitting down but leaning up against a wall that has full view of the main entrances to this room. And Trance is there. She has kind of her rifle on, like, rested on her lap in a way. With, like, her arms tucked over it, sort of thing. Oh,
You're muted,
I think you're
Lakuna.
muted, Cole.
Mhm.
Thank you. As you are kind of beginning your rest, one of the patients gets up from the bed, kind of keeping an eye as this appears to be human woman has been keeping her eye on you. She's wearing, a gown, patient's gown and whatnot, made of white, it's kind of dirty. She's got blonde hair that's kind of massed and just tied into knots and whatnot. Though, as you look at her face, she appears to be quite pretty. She's got, she appears to be beautiful. If her hair is all, properly done and whatnot, she'd be quite a beautiful woman. She comes up to you, Vodder. E- Excuse me.
Oh, no, that's not a problem. What? How can I help you?
Have you seen my husband?
Oh, is he missing?
Yes, we were separated. Have you seen him?
What's his name?
That's the problem. I can't quite remember, but he's handsome.
Oh. What color is his hair?
It is dark.
Okay.
He used to like to slick it back.
Oh. I'm sorry, we don't know many people here. We just got here.
Okay. She kind of
What's your name?
Tatiana.
Tatiana. I'm Vodder. It's nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure, Father. If you see my husband, will you let him know that I'm looking for him?
Dark hair, slicked back. Okay.
He wears
Tatiana's
very nice clothes.
Oh. Okay. I'll keep a lookout for him.
Thank you. She turns and goes up to Wisp. Excuse me. Have you seen my husband?
Wisp just gets like really uncomfortable. Like you can see her like physically just be like, no, I'm sorry, I haven't.
Are you sure?
And she just nods. Yeah.
We came from so far away. I don't know anybody. She kind of turns and goes to knock. Are you still awake? Or are you asleep?
I'm like teetering the edge, man. Give it a shot.
Excuse me. Have you seen my husband?
Look at my eyes. Are they closed?
Well, yes.
And that's a no.
If you see him, will you let me know his wife? Will you let him know his wife is looking for him? Thank you. She goes up to Kimura. Excuse me. Have you seen my husband?
So her eyes are closed because she is going into trance. So she's probably not far enough in that she could be woken up, but she can't hear. So she doesn't respond.
Right. Excuse me, have you seen my husband? I'm so confused.
I am my turn.
Shut up, Derek.
I'm going to scoot over there.
Okay.
While this is happening.
I'm just gonna. I'm sorry, my friend. She can't. She can't hear you. It's not you. It's her.
Oh. All right. Have you seen my husband?
No.
I don't know why they're keeping me here. I need to look for my husband.
I'll let you know if we see him.
Will you tell him Tatiana's looking for him?
That's your name?
Yes.
I'll tell him.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. She goes to the other patients. Have
Around
you
the room.
seen my husband? And, some of them kind of brush her off. Some of them say, no, I'm sorry. They kind of like, it seems like this is a pretty common thing. This woman does not seem of super stable mind.
Really?
And she kind of lays down and kind of murmurs to herself, but it's inaudible from where you are sitting. And as you guys begin taking a long rest for the first time in weeks, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
All my rage, yay!
Oh
It's
my
back.
God.
The rages are
And I
back.
got my spell slots for you
Yes.
guys.
We'll go
Long
over
rest.
we'll go over some of the long rest things because there's other things you can do while resting. We'll figure some of that stuff out if you want to do anything else. Because there are things that you can do. So if you want to, you can do research, learn rumors, train, things like that. Some of the things you can't do in an asylum, like run a business. I mean, you can if you have some ideas. But
I'm gonna start a
Moonshine.
business.
Contraband.
Yeah,
Contraband.
moonshine. Damn right.
Yeah, see?
Husband,
I'm gonna do
Oh.
fishing.
husband
Indeed.
retrieval services.
I'm gonna
want the
fuck
husband.
Joe's husband. That's what we do.
Perfect.
I'm
Well,
not gonna
thank you
lie.
guys. What? Good.
Sorry, when his way he's like F got cut out right there. You said something and F got like, you gonna want her husband? I was like, you need
Yeah,
to
I
relax
only
there,
heard.
buddy.
Yeah, I was like, what?
You too?
I
Wait,
was
did I
like,
did I cut out or something?
So no, Doc cut out. She was like, I'm gonna go find their husband. I'm gonna go their husband. I was like,
I got censored. They bleeped
with
me
a
out.
10-foot arm reach, he can do anything.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you guys as always. Especially to Bash. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs tonight. Goodness. I hope it was. I hope that punch was worth it.
I know, right?
Thank you so much.
Make him a dumb man.
That was fun.
Let's-
That was
That
fun.
was fun. So let's just go around. Tell the peoples where they can find you, what you're up to in the next week and whatnot, and so on and so forth. Isla, let's start with you.
hello. I am Fenixover. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. Of the tag of Fenixover. It's written here, right here. I stream pretty much mostly Wild RP, and I have been streaming Wild RP. I'm streaming again! Yay! Woo!
Consistency.
Yay! Still don't have a schedule, but I am streaming, so you can pretty much guarantee almost 2 to 3 streams a week from that regard. So you get to see this, whatever this is, and more. Yay! I'm building a Russian mob. Come join me as I play Russian music and act all serious and wear a new shunka. That's practically it, and you'll find me here. You'll find me here every Thursday, doing more Russian-sounding stuff. I can't seem to get away from Russians right now. That's all I seem to be doing. But yeah, that is the gist of it. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you so much. Derek, let's just go right on to you. Where can we find you? What are you up to?
That's the best way to play that mute, by the way. Get it out of the way, then right to Common Conscious Cole. That's the best. My name is Derek from atop Derek Mountain, Eclectic Brownie, on this wonderful, wonderful grouping that we have here. You can find me on atop Derek Mountain in any place, any website, period, where hopefully you find me playing games, doing geek shit and stuff. This week, kind of slow. Next week, oh boy, do I got a bunch of fun stuff planned for you guys. Let's put it this way. All the hours of just doing fun stuff on OBS means for this crazy SFX shenanigans inside of this, which is going to be great. So I'm going to enjoy the hell out of streaming next week. But that's pretty much what I'm up to. And I hope to see you guys next week.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to see what you've got cooked up in your
yeah.
stream. Ray, where can we find you? What are you up to?
Oh, hey, I'm Ray, or With a Brick. You can find me everywhere on the internet by With a Brick. I streamed for the first time in like 2 months the other day. I'm playing some Dark Alliance.
Woo.
I'm going on vacation for the next 10 days, so I'll be taking another break. But then when I come back, I'll be doing a bunch of new stuff with my channel. I've got a bunch planned as well. So yeah, you can catch me there. And yeah, but I'm always here on Thursdays with this wonderful, amazing, incredible crew, and I can't wait.
Hey, hell yeah. Justin, where can we find you?
What? I'm right here.
Hi. Oh,
Yeah. Doc Rimbo, he, him, or they, them. I'm here every Thursday. I'm also on Twitter at Doc Rimbo. I'm also on Twitch at twitch.tv/Doc Rimbo, just like it says in my name right there. I'm just not streaming a ton. I'm playing a lot of Wild, so if you go to like somebody else's Wild stream, you'll see me sooner or later. Any one of these people, I'm sure. But I'm having fun, and I've got something in the works, and maybe next week we'll talk about it, maybe the week after we'll talk about it here. Stay tuned, that's exciting. And also super big thanks to chat and everybody who turns out every week. We really appreciate you.
We do.
yes. Thank you guys so much. I am Cole, or Lacuna RP. You can find me at Lacuna RP on Twitter and Twitch. I stream sometimes. You can find me here on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern for Behind the Screen. We didn't do it this week, which I'm surprised I was able to do anything today because I didn't prep at all. But we're here. Things are happening. You can find me there. I stream sometimes. I play Tavish Black and Mikhail Feniksov. Also, Russian the Mub. And yeah, exciting things kind of happening there. And yeah, we'll have hopefully some exciting announcements here in the next little while. But we appreciate you guys regardless. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Make sure to follow on YouTube. If you're not following here on Twitch, follow Twitch, join the Discord, follow on Twitter, all the things. And as always, make sure to stay tuned after the credits because we will be doing a raid, and give everybody some love. Love each other, love yourselves, and we will see you next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Finger guns.
Finger guns.